A very warm welcome to all our alumni from St. Anne's High School, Tarnaka. Our school, over the past 58 years, has brought out generations of students who have excelled in whichever field they belong to and who take great pride in upholding the strong values imparted to them while at school. We have this section on the website, Special Mention, where we plan to interact with alumni who have made prominent contributions to their fields of work and whose experiences can inspire a whole lot of a younger generation of Annites. We take great pride in inviting here today one such distinguished alumna, Neela Iyengar, now Chakravarti, of the 1978 batch from our school. Neela Iyengar is a project manager and electrical subject matter expert with NASA USA. Welcome, Neela, and we're very happy to have your mother along with you. Welcome, Amma. As her friends describe her, she was a brilliant student at school, a very good friend, wonderful daughter, loving and caring mother, at the same time a very talented person. Neela is a Carnatic vocalist and has given many performances. Chatting with Neela are her enthusiastic batchmates, Mrs. Anuradha and Mrs. Amelia. Thank you, Anuradha, for connecting us with Neela. Over to both of you.
Hi, hello there, Neela. It was lovely to see you and Amma this March during this year. I remember you and Amma were such warm hosts. I do miss both of you. For me, Neela, it was like a dream come true to visit NASA, and I have to thank you for that. Wonderful to connect with you like this once again. So when one thinks of space, we think of the moon landing, then astronauts, shuttle buildings, satellite launching, and etc. etc. So, but why imagine that we can hear more about all of this from you? I remember you were brilliant even as a student at school. So my first question to you, Neela, what did you do after schooling that led you to your present work and position?
Well, in St. Anne's, math was always my passion, and I have to thank our teachers, like especially Sister Preside, and that was what led me to follow engineering. And after graduating from St. Anne's, my father moved on to Bangalore to start the ISI over there, Indian Statistical Institute. So I did 1 year intermediate in Hyderabad, and my second year intermediate was done in Mount Carmel's, Bangalore. And then after that, I got my admission into engineering college, the famous National Institute of Engineering, part of the Mysore University, and then joined there and did my electrical engineering. I got my bachelor's there, and that was tough times. In those days, we were only 3 girls in the electrical engineering batch. It was so rare to have girls in engineering. And then from there on, after graduating, I was able to find a job with Hindustan Photofilms, a public sector undertaking. So I moved on to Ooty, and I was working there. After 3 years, I got married, and then I had to wait for my visa for 2 years, and then I came over to this country. 1991, February 2nd was when I landed here. And then 1 year, the country was in recession. So at that point, I said, well, let me go back to school and get my master's in electrical engineering. I went to the University of Houston, which is a famous school over here, and got my master's. And after I got my master's, it was just a couple of weeks, I got picked up by a campus interview. And since then, I've been working at NASA. This is my 28th year here.
Oh, that's great.
That's my journey so far.
Yeah. Now, was this a school time dream or it happened and you just fell in love with it eventually?
Actually, I really did not dream that I would end up one day in NASA. We used to, subscribe to a magazine called Span in those days. It was an American magazine, and it used to really talk about NASA's achievements, moon landing, and all that. So, space shuttle missions and all that. So, I had some kind of a fascination for space at that time, but never thought one day I'll end up here. So when I walked on the campus the very first day, I could not imagine. It was like I had to pinch myself, to believe that I was really starting my career with NASA. So yeah, and then from there on, it's been an amazing journey so far. So it's I would say it's a path that I think I was just destined. It's purely, I think, God's way of bringing me here. I really didn't have any such dreams or anything. Of course, but math was always there. Engineering was always there. So
So destiny brought you to the US, Neela, and it's always it is all the work of God and nothing
exactly,
else.
that's what.
Just
Yeah, who
come
knew I
together.
was going to marry and come over here?
Yeah.
Everything I tell you, I like they
We only
say,
execute God's plans, we
it's all
only
God's
execute
plan.
God's plans.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah.
was. It was very much. Neela, I would like to
Mm,
ask you one more question. Do you
sure.
study space or Earth from space? Which is your area of expertise?
My area of expertise is basically, like I said, my background is electrical engineering, and we do a lot of work in support of the astronauts that are living on space station. The space station has completed 20 years now, and at the most we have, like, we can have six to eight astronauts living comfortably on the space station. There's enough room for six to eight astronauts over there. And so this we have to make the space station more like a home for the astronauts. And